far away. Hopefully. There it is there. Still loading onto the channel. Hopefully it won't take too long. Still loading onto the channel. My audio is working as it should. That's good to hear. The stream's up, the chat's up. We're all good to go. Fantastic. So, hello everyone and welcome to the final round, round 15 of the PlayStation America series here on RaceSpec Esports. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this event. And we're back, and this time we're at a wet Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache for the Brazilian Grand Prix. This race will conclude a long season of racing here on RaceSpec, and what a place to do it. Interlagos is easily one of the best racetracks in the world. The 6.8 mile 15 turn circuit has been the scene of many great races over its lifetime in both real life and in the virtual world. There are two major overtaking opportunities around the racetrack with the help of DRS down the pit straight into the Center S, turns 1 and 2, and down the Retroposta into Descida do Lago, turns 4 and 5. We may also see some moves at the hairpins of turns 8 and 11 in the middle sector as well. Arguably the most important corner on the circuit is Junso, turn 13. The corner dictates how fast you go through the third sector, so if you make a mistake, it will result in a significant time loss. It will be a key corner for us to look out for during qualifying. Based off my experiences here, I do have high expectations for this race, and I imagine qualifying will be quite entertaining too, especially in these wet weather conditions. Hopefully these expectations come through, so then we can end this season on a high. But before we focus on qualifying, it's a little bit of news from last week. Two incident reports, both resulting in penalties. A penalty for Schumacher, who is racing here today in the Ferrari, fittingly enough. He was given a 10-second time penalty for not following the ghosting rules that have been implemented here on RaceSpec Esports. And a bigger penalty for Silent Banshee for making contact with Godly Boss that resulted in his retirement. He was given 15 seconds, which demotes him from P5 to P6. But other than that, there's nothing else to report from Imola. Looking in the Drivers' Championship, as we already know, Pisassen has wrapped it up. Same with Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship, they've wrapped that up too. But the fight is on for second in the drivers between Silent Banshee and the Hill Plus Ultra. Silent Banshee is on 166 points, followed by Nihil, who is only 8 points behind. His teammate Oxford Fox is in the fight as well. He's only 12 points behind his teammate, so if Nihil and Silent Banshee get into any sort of trouble, then Oxford could find himself second in the Drivers' Championship by the end of the race. Now, Silent Banshee is retiring out of qualifying. He does have to serve a qualifying ban if he's accumulating too many penalty points, so he'll be starting towards the back of the grid. One final bit of news. Oh, sorry, the Constructors' Championship, of course. So Mercedes, they've already won it. They're on 499 points, followed by Alpine on 304. They've got a healthy margin to Aston Martin, who are on 223 points. But the fight is on for fourth place between Alfa Romeo and Red Bull. Alfa Romeo are on 196, followed by Red Bull on 187, so only 9 points separating those two. Then it's Ferrari, Williams, McLaren, Haas and AlphaTauri completes the table. Now finally, in terms of news, a bit of important news for us who play the F1 2021 game. Version 1.14 of the game was released by Codemasters recently, and the update features the F2 2021 grid, which is nice to see. And also one little thing that may prove to be an important factor during the race is reduced time between stops when a team is double stacking cars in the pits. That's a really big thing to add in, a really important thing, especially under safety car periods when teams might have to double stack. So that will shake things up in the pit lane. A couple of other things as well being addressed in the update, but other than that, those are the major points. The F2 2021 cars being added in, and the reduced time during double stacking in the pits. That's pretty much it in terms of news. We can now fully focus on qualifying. And I did get a message from Flavius that it's a wet weather start, 70% chance of rain for the start of the race. So drivers better get dialed into these wet weather conditions in qualifying and get ready for the race start. Currently, the Hill Plus Ultra is on pole position with a 1 minute 18.0. Typically, qualifying here at Interlagos is very tight, though obviously we'll see those gaps increase in the wet weather conditions. I'm still guessing that it's going to be a fairly exciting session for us here. Captain Smeg making his way around the back half of the circuit. You come around the final corner to cross the line. I think he will go up to pole position. He does, only just though. It's a very small margin between himself and the Hill Plus Ultra, 9 thousandths of a second between those two. Oxford Fox, he's in the middle of a flying lap. Coming out to turn 11, a potential overtaking spot on the circuit. Through turn 12. Now this corner is flat out in the dry, definitely not flat out in the wet. Coming out to Junso, like I said, the most important corner on the circuit, as it dictates how fast you can go through the third sector. And in these wet weather conditions, it becomes that much more important because it's very easy to lose traction. Oxford jumps up to P4 with a 1 minute 19.349. JBH has just started a flying lap, I believe. He's coming out to the center S. Now around Curva du Sol, turn 3. Down the Retro Aposta. Climb up into top gear. Reaching just under 310 kilometers an hour through Descida do Lago. Turns 4 and 5 on the racetrack. Climbing up the hill around Ferradura, turn 6. Then into turn 7. Now into turn 8. Not a bad overtaking spot, particularly early in the race as Captain Schmeg betters his previous best, setting a 1 minute 17.5, extending that gap between himself and his teammate Hildebeest, who is currently second. So at the moment it's a Williams 1-2. Out to turn 11, then down through turn 12. It's very, very treacherous in these conditions. Very easy to lose control of the car. Then through turn 13, you can see the understeer at corner entry as he pulls off to the side to let Oxford Fox through. But even by travelling slowly, you can see the front tyres refusing to grip in. Lakeshore, you would have invalidated. Purple Snake, you look like you're on a flying lap. Through turn 12, you can see him modulating the throttle there. Be very careful. Apparently Purple to the middle sector. We'll see how he fares at the end of the lap. Coming out to turn 13, not using too much curb. Probably a good idea. The curve's become incredibly slippery in these wet conditions. Around the final corner, Guitar Hero has taken pole position away from Captain Schmeg as Purple Snake jumps up to P5 with a 1 minute 18.2. What about Laquita? Where are you? As well, Captain Schmeg has retaken pole position once again with a 1 minute 17.147. He is just over 3/10 clear of Guitar Hero. Laquita coming to the end of a flying lap. It's a 21.6 for the AlphaTauri driver. Jumps to P9. Lake Show. Will he be coming into the pits, I wonder? Ooh, have to get off the throttle a little bit then. No, he's going to go for a flying lap. Seems like the conditions are getting better. The rain isn't as intense as it was at the start of the session. Through the center S. Then through Curva du Sol. Giving it flat or a little lift there. Went to about 90% throttle at the midpoint of turn 3. Into Descida do Lago, turn 4 and 5. Keeps the car nice and straight. Very tidy couple of corners there from Lake Show. Through turn 6. Tiptoeing his way through the sector. Purple Snake, I think, has jumped up to third place as well, with a 1 minute 17.7, so I think the conditions are definitely improving. Yellow flags, that is Purple Snake, I believe, or is it Rafa? Nope, it's Purple Snake. spinning out at turn 2. Gets going again. Fortunately, he hasn't crashed out of qualifying. And Rafa has invalidated his lap. Flavius coming towards the end of one. Psycho at the beginning of one. And Lake Show's about to complete his. And the final corner, Nihil Plus Ultra has now jumped up to pole position. That's been taken away by Lake Show with a 1 minute 17.077. So conditions are definitely improving. JST beginning a flying lap as Flavius jumps to P8 with a 1 minute 18.981. Psycho making his way around turn 9. You have to be very careful on the throttle. Ooh! There was a car on his outside there. Snake and Beans? It was. Might have distracted him just a little bit. Seeing that Alfa Romeo sitting on the outside there. Might have thrown him off just a little bit. Doesn't use all of the road on the exit of turn 13 either. This won't be a competitive lap time, I imagine. See what the clock says though. 17.5, jumps to P6. There's still plenty of time in that lap as well. Saw that mistake at the exit of turn 9 and he didn't fully utilise all of the road at turn 13. Rodney Boss, you've been validated. Nihil coming back into the pits. And I think Lake Show will be doing the same thing. JST coming to the end of a flying lap. He jumps up to P4 with a 1 minute 17.249. Just under 2 tenths behind our current pole sitter, Lake Show. Psycho, he might be trying a second flying lap here. It's a nicer run out of turn 9 through turn 10, then into the hairpin of turn 11. And down the hill, around the fast left-hand sweeper of 12. He's a bit wide. He keeps the car straight and he's up by 2.5 tenths. Rafa has just jumped up to pole position with a 1 minute 16.979. Psycho coming around turn 14, then turn 15, the final corner on the racetrack, up towards the line. Psycho jumps up to P4 with a 1 minute 17.140. Steve's coming back in. Flavius. I think he's in the middle of a flying lap. Yes, he is. He's up by 4 tenths of a second. Comes out to turn 13, climbs up the hill. See, they're short shifting just to try and find a bit of traction. Around the final corner, keeps it nice and narrow, up towards the line. Flavius stays P11 but improves by 6 tenths. And Laquito's found 6 tenths in the first sector, according to the clock. Through turn 6, through turn 7, and into the hairpin of turn 8. Through turn 9, you can see very gentle on the throttle, very gentle on the brakes. Doesn't want to make any mistakes through this middle sector. Gets a nice run out of turn 11 through 12. It's a nice run. Clock says he's improved by a second. It's turn 13, pretty spot on. Around turn 14. One corner remains, the final flat-out left-hander of 15, up towards the line. Laquito jumps up to P12 with the 1 minute 18.500. Guitar Hero currently down in the first sector, so he'll have another go at a flying lap. JST, apparently purple, to the middle sector. He's coming up towards the line. Around the final corner. He crosses it and jumps up to pole position by a hefty margin as well. A 1 minute 16.268. He out-qualifies Rafa by 7 tenths. That is a Ferrari going slowly there. That has to be Schumacher because Lake Show is in the pit lane. Rafa around the final corner. Can he retake pole? The answer is no. He sets a 1 minute 16.4, improves by just under 0.6 of a second. Captain Schmeg beginning a flying lap with just under 3.5 minutes left in the session. Through the center S, then through Curva de Sol. Oh, a bit squiggly there. He would have lost a significant amount of time with that error. What does the clock say? He's down by just over 2.5 tenths, so he'll probably back off and have another go, and he's just invalidated there, so he'll definitely back off. Guitar Hero in the middle of a flying lap. Godly Boss is coming through turn 8 just now. See how he fares. A slow Alfa Romeo there on the Retroposta, trying to get out of people's way. Up by just under 5.5 tenths there. Guitar Hero looking at a mid-16 at this stage. Comes around the final corner, up towards the line. He jumps up to P3 with a 1 minute 16.494. Misses out on P2 by 1/10 of a second. Godly Boss has jumped up to P4 as well. He's done a 1 minute 16.521. Lake Show getting ready. The Hill starting a flying lap through the center S. Turns 1 and 2. See him being very gentle on the throttle, trying to keep control of the car. Through Curva de Sol, onto the Retroposta. What does the clock say? In Sector 1, he's up by 1/10 of a second. Psycho, he's down, he's well down, so he's not on a proper flying lap. Captain Schmeg, I believe he's trying to set a proper flying lap here through turn 8. Then turn 9, Jay Stee has retired in the pit lane. So he's hedging his bets that he can hang on to pole position with that lap. We'll wait and see. The conditions do seem like they're continuously improving. Captain Schmeg, he's up by almost 0.6 in the middle sector. Comes out to turn 13, climbs up the hill. Around turn 14, he keeps it flat. Around the final corner, he keeps it nice and narrow, up towards the line. Captain Schmeg goes to P2 with a 1 minute 16.304. Misses out by 0.04 of a second. What about his teammate Hildebeest? He's up by 1/10 in the first sector. JBH, he's getting ready to set his final flying lap. The Hill, I believe he has improved, but he's still currently P8. He's coming up to the first sector split, as Lake Show has jumped up to pole position with a 1 minute 16.176. The Hill has improved by 1/10 in the first sector. JBH setting off on a flying lap with 20 seconds left in the session. This will be his final attempt, and he's invalidated at turn 2. Hildebeest, purple to the middle sector. He's up by 0.3. He needs to find at least one more to try and take pole position away from Lake Show around turn 14. He'll keep it nice and narrow around the final corner, up towards the control line. Hildebeest jumps off to pole position with a 1 minute 16.048. Oh, and Captain Schmeg, he's off the racetrack completely. That is at the exit of 13. His qualifying is done. Oxford, I think his session is done too. The Hill, he's up by just under 3.5 tenths in the middle sector. Around the final corner, keeps it very narrow. Crosses the line, jumps up to P6 with a 1 minute 16.456. Psycho jumps up to P11, Purple Snake. His session is done. Schumacher, he's down in the middle sector. I don't think he's going to improve here. Find out. No, he's not. Lake Show, he ducks back in. He can't take pole position away from Hildebeest. So there we go. I believe that is qualifying over. Somehow, how's Sequitos on a flying lap? He shouldn't be. There's no way Liquito should be on a flying lap here, but he is. Oh, that's right, he joined mid-session, so we probably have a glitch, which is great. Ah. Yeah. He was up in the first sector. We'll see what Sector 2 says. And I believe that is him controlling the car. Down the hill through turn 12. He's up by 2.5 tenths. He's definitely controlling that car. There's no way you should be able to set a qualifying lap, but here we are. And what's the bet the session doesn't end when he crosses the line? Yeah, as I thought. P11, he improves by 6.5 tenths. But as you can see, we're still here in the middle of a qualifying session. Ah, great. Well, it seems that this new patch, version 1.14, hasn't fixed any issues with the online lobbies. That's great. I'm so fed up with these F1 games. Gotta love this game. See, now we're stuck at 1 second left in terms of the time remaining in this session. We're not moving anymore. Oh. I'm getting so fed up with this series. So incredibly fed up. Put up with this rubbish for 3 games now. I'm getting sick of it. Now a very close qualifying at the end of the session. We can see from P1 all the way down to P12. That's less than a second. Quito crashes there. So less than a second separating 12 cars at the end of qualifying. But that's the nature of Interlagos. It's always incredibly close here. Qualifying is always tight. The racing tends to be always good. Easily my favourite racetrack in terms of a spectator point of view. In a driver's point of view, me and this circuit have a bit of history. I love this place, but sometimes the circuit really doesn't love me. I have to get a bit of bad luck. But this man on screen is the guy on pole position. Only just a little over 1/10 of a second between Hildebeest and Lake Show at the end of qualifying. Has anyone done anything? Like, is there any communication at all in the Discord? Oh, God. I guess we just sit here and wait, do we? Is that what we're gonna do? No one's done anything. So, broke vegan. It's a neat little glitch. Ah, there we go. It's finally ended. So a person can join mid-session, and it sort of breaks the lobby. I don't know what the game thinks, per se, when a person joins mid-session. But you can have this happen where the qualifying session would continue even after it's supposed to end. And usually the culprit is the person who joins mid-session. Usually. Not always, but usually. It's just a neat little thing in the game. that exists for whatever reason. But there we are, that's the end of qualifying. Only 2 drivers not setting any laps, Lob and Silent Banshee. I'm pretty certain Silent Banshee had a qualifying ban due to accumulating too many penalty points, so he'll be starting from, I think it was 16th or 17th? I think it was 17th. So only 16 cars setting lap times. I'm not sure about Lob though. Maybe he had an outstanding qualifying ban or something. As Flavius mentioned to me earlier in qualifying, it was supposed to be a wet weather start. So hopefully the drivers are nice and dialed in for the wet weather conditions. It's not going to be easy with the field bunched up off the start. You get a whole heap of spray. You won't have a lot of traction because the tyres aren't in their ideal temperature range. So you need to be very careful. You need to give leniency. But you always have one hero who will try and make up as many positions off the start. And they look like a genius if they pull it off, but they look pretty stupid if they crash into somebody. It's that risk versus reward deal in these sort of conditions. Drivers will set off on their formation lap. And I can't help but feel with the technical difficulties in qualifying that we're going to have a glitch lobby and nobody moves off the start. I just have that feeling. Everybody's on the intermediate tyre as well. So no wet weather conditions at the moment. We'll get rid of that. We'll just quickly run through the order, shall we? So we've got Hildebeest on pole position. I'm pretty certain this is his first pole position of the season. Best time to get it, I guess. Better late than never. He'll have Lake Show alongside in P2, then JST in P3. Captain Schmeg P4, so a solid qualifying effort from the Williams team. Rafa P5, Nahil P6. Guitar Hero in 7th, followed by his teammate Godly Boss. JBH in 9th, then Oxford Fox rounds out the top 10. Laquito in 11th, followed by Psycho, then Purple Snake in P13. Flavius in P14, Snake and Beans in P15. Schumacher in P16, then Silent Banshee and Lob will be starting from the back of the field. Yeah, hopefully it won't be as chaotic as Pacific Tier 1, but hopefully there'll be a fair bit of intensity and some good racing like there was in Pacific Tier 1. That's what I'm hoping for. And what else I'm hoping for is that we don't have a lobby glitch when the drivers line up onto the grid. Otherwise we're going to have to reset the lobby and that takes forever. But I can't help but feel that's exactly what's going to happen. Let's find out. Come on, game, surprise me. Yes, Ferrari Pro. I believe it so anyway. Season 6 starting in January, that sounds about right. Everyone's lined up and what do you know? Nobody's moving. Oh, no, there we go. So the game decides to work. We got 10 red lights. And we are underway here in Sao Paulo. Hildebeest gets a nice start. He'll try and lead the field down into turn 1. Oh, but look at Captain Schmeg. He will lead the field. Incredible, from 4th to 1st in one corner. What a start. The field bunches up through the CNRS, then through Curva de Sol for the first time in race conditions. Almost 3 wide there at the exit of turn 3. Godly Boss hangs on to P6. Down the Reda Aposta for the first time through Descida de Largo. What a great start from Captain Schmeg. Some business going on in the back there, with some drivers going side by side. JC, Godly Boss, battling for position as Rafa is looking around the outside of Lake Show. Can't get it done there. Up towards turn 8, the hairpin of turn 8. Godly Boss and JBH were briefly battling for position, but Godly Boss hangs on to P6. Drivers making their way around the hairpin of turn 11. Oh, looking down the inside there, Laquito can't get the move done on Guitar Hero. On through Junso. Oh, a bit wide. I think there was Purple Snake in the Haas, running a little bit wide there. But a nice controlled start, for the most part anyway. Box is overtaken by Silent Banshee. JBH overtaking his teammate at turn 1. JST though fights back. They're side by side, the Red Bull teammates. JBH gets in front. Here comes Psycho. He's got to run. He's got nowhere to go. He's stuck behind JST's rear wing as they head towards Descida del Lago. Oh, JST outbreaks himself a little bit, misses the apex. That brings Psycho a little bit closer up the hill towards Ferradura, turn 6. Psycho, he lost a fair bit of time coming out to turn 5. Couldn't resume that battle. Where's Nihil? He had a bit of a run, couldn't do anything with it. And Psycho makes a mistake at turn 8. Through turn 9 we go. Nihil tries to get traction out of the corner. Then around the hairpin of turn 11. Oh, losing the back end there. Managed to gather it back up through turn 12. Sector 2 yellow flags, that is Schumacher. He spun round at turn 11. He's now a fair way behind 17th place. Captain Schmeg and Hildebeest setting fastest laps out there. They're doing well in the lead. Fairly tight stuff going on back here. Purple Snake on the back of Guitar Hero. Heading into the center S. Silent Banshee on the back as well of this battle. Through Curva de Sol. I don't think anyone's quite close enough to make any sort of moves as Lob and Schumacher are into the pits. Both of them probably receiving damage early in the race. So they're going to have to get their front wings fixed. Coming out to Descida del Lago. Everyone just following one another. Really, really tough to pass in these sort of conditions. The only real way you can make overtakes is if someone makes a mistake. And that'll be on everybody's mind, to just keep the car nice and straight. Try and not make any sort of errors during this wet weather period. Hopefully it dries out. Typically dry weather conditions brings about better racing. Typically. JBH closing in on Godly Boss. Down towards the center S we go. He's looking, can't go for the move though. He can be very committed on the brakes. Very easy to overshoot. And then end up running wide, perhaps running off the racetrack, or even running into your rival that you're trying to pass. Into Descida del Lago. Still just sort of stuck behind. Can't really do anything at this stage. Just have to play a patient game. Just wait. Lake Show, he's on the back of Hildebeest. Trying to find a way round the Williams as Captain Schmeg is continuing to pull away. A brilliant start from him. Jumped up from 4th to 1st while going into the center S. It was quite a remarkable start. The gap has shrunk quite a bit. He lost 2 or 3 tenths there through turn 12. Probably just making a small mistake. He's starting to pull away once again. And Hildebeest is starting to close in. Maybe Hildebeest got a better car for straight line speed compared to Captain Schmeg. So he's lost a little bit of time as well. He's 7 tenths behind Hildebeest. Going through the center S now. Through Curva de Sol. There is Rafa just hanging back in 4th place. He's in a nice position there. If Lake Show can catch up and he and Hildebeest battle, Rafa can get involved quite quickly and perhaps capitalize on it. Around turn 6, then turn 7. Gap is less than half a second. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. What's going on here? Hildebeest. He spun at turn 8. Oh, and he spins again at turn 9. I thought that might have been a leaderboard glitch or something, because a whole heap of people just shuffled positions. Oh, and Guitar Hero, he has spun as well. That's at the exit of turn 9, and I think that's front wing on the ground as well. Oh, come on, Codemasters. Give me a better camera angle than this one. Yeah, he's missing his whole front wing. So he'll have to come in and get that fixed. So Hildebeest from second drops all the way down to 14th with that mistake. Rafa finds himself now in P2. Just capitalising on the situation at hand. Now in a nice place. Lake Show in P3. He's got Godly Boss right on his gearbox. He defends the inside line. Godly Boss looking around the long way though at turn 4. He's committed to trying to make a move here. They're side by side through turn 5. Up the hill towards 6. Godly Boss had the inside line. A nice aerial shot here. Contact between the two just a little bit. Through turn 7. A little bit more contact there. JBH is in this too. As Lake Show tries to fight around the outside. That opens a door for JBH, who moves into P4. Godly Boss now, he has the job to try and hang on to P3. JBH right behind. Coming through turn 12 and into turn 13. Save the 2 yellow flags. Hildebeest is out. He's crashed out at the exit of turn 9, and we have a safety car. How about that from pole position to DNF? Unbelievable. Just shows you how brutal wet weather conditions can be. See if we can't see Hildebeest at all. Or will he despawn? On around turn 9. There he is there. So in a similar fashion to Guitar Hero a few laps earlier, and that is someone off the racetrack. That's Guitar Hero. This time at the exit of turn 8. Yeah, we saw earlier with Guitar Hero losing control. He destroyed his front wing. It seems that Hildebeest has destroyed a bit more than that, so he's our first retirement of this race. So there we are. Right. Well, the conditions are easing up. In fact, well, no, it's still raining. There's still a few rain droplets on the halo. I wonder when it will turn to dry conditions. Well, one driver in the pit lane, Guitar Hero, he's got a new front wing, it seems. He's on a fresh set of intermediates as well. I'm pretty sure he is. So I don't think anybody will gain strategically from this safety car. He's nowhere near dry enough for the slick tyre. So basically, all this safety car will bring is a bit of a rest period for all the drivers. In terms of penalties, only 3 drivers have some. Laquito in P9, he has 3 seconds. Same with Silent Banshee and Schumacher in P16. All 3 of them have 3-second time penalties. Everybody else is clean. But I don't expect that to stay like that for too long. Quite an easy place to gather warnings, especially through the center S at turn 2. Coming out to turn 4 can be a hot spot for warnings as well. Running wide at turn 7. couple of places where you can gather warnings. Going to be doing another lap on the safety car, are we? And wait until Guitar Hero catches up and reaches the tail of the train. So we'll get back on the green flag racing. Conditions are definitely getting lighter. But it's still definitely intermediate conditions. See here in terms of position gains and loss. See Captain Schmeg up 3, Rafa up 3, Godly Boss up 5, JBH up 5, Lakeshore down 3, same with JST, Psycho up 5, Mahil down 2, Requito up 2, Purple Snake up 3, biggest winner so far is Silent Banshee up 6, Oxford down 2, Flavius up 1, same with Snake and Beans, as Schumacher goes into the pit lane. Lob up 3, biggest loser Guitar Hero down 9 out of the cars that are still in the race. And Schumacher is leaving the pit lane on fresh intermediates. And of course Hildebeest, car that caused this safety car, from pole position to first retirement. Definitely not what he wanted after that qualifying performance. Safety car in this lap, so the safety car isn't waiting around any longer. Going to go back under green flag racing, and Captain Schmeg will control the field. Back everybody up to allow the safety car to go back into the pit lane. Rafa, he'll be right behind Captain Schmeg's gearbox, waiting for the right moment to gas it up. See there, Captain Schmeg weaving, getting temperature into his tyres. Rafa's right there, he's ready. He's ready to go. Captain Schmeg gets on the accelerator. We're back on the green flag racing here at Interlagos, and everybody bunches up here in the midfield. Through the centre S we go. Lakeshore runs wide, loses a position to JBH. Through Curva de Sol. The leaders get through in relatively one piece, so do have a bit of bunching up going on back here. Two Alpines switching positions down the Retroposta into Descida do Lago. Oxford overshoots it a little bit, runs wide, so does his teammate. Somehow Oxford hangs on to P11. Guitar Hero finds himself now in 12th place after that restart. So he's climbed up from 16th to 12th on the restart. What a great job from Guitar Hero. He's now on the back of Oxford Fox. Can't quite find a way by just yet. JBH on the back of Guitar Hero's teammate Godly Boss. Exiting Junso and spinning the Red Bull of JST and the McLaren of Psycho. Spinning out at the same corner. See here JST being very careful. He gets back onto the road. His tyres won't feel great as Oxford Fox gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Through turn 1 we go. Then into turn 2. They're side by side through Curva de Sol. And Oxford Fox hangs on. He's leaving the session, fair enough. Purple Snake, can he counter-attack here? He's looking, can't really go for a move though. Into Descida de Lago, just has to stay behind Oxford for now. And turn 6, then turn 7. Too much action just yet. The only time we'll see any sort of action is if somebody makes a mistake. I believe it stopped raining as well, it has. I imagine with the amount of laps remaining, a lot of drivers will have the medium compound tyre selected. think the medium should be able to make it from here. So it should be a simple one-stop from here to the end, barring any sort of safety car interference. Captain Schmeg sets the new fastest lap. That's beaten by Rafa, 1 minute 17.660. Oh, Captain Schmeg, he's made a mistake at turn 3 and loses the lead. Rafa takes it. He loses P2 to Goldley Boss as well. What a colossal mistake from Captain Schmeg. Had a comfortable margin at hand of just under a second, but he's cracked. And he's dropped down to P3. Lakeshow, a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. Another driver getting a time penalty next to their names. Around turn 8. Rafa, he's got a clear track in front of him. He's got the license to push and try and pull away. That's exactly what he's doing. Out in front. Through turn 11. Then down the hill. Through turn 12. Schumacher, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Another one next to his name. Climbing up the hill. Another Junso through turn 14. Can't do anything. Doesn't have a great deal of straight line speed in comparison to JBH, who pulls out of the slipstream looking down the inside into turn 1. They're side by side through the left-hander. Into turn 2, Captain Schmeg hangs on to P3. But JBH gets a hell of a run, looking around the outsider curve of the Sol. Oh, you can't do that. But he has. He's into P3. What a great move. Great commitment on the outside line. Found a lot of traction. Just sailed past, no trouble at all. That should be illegal, that sort of move, but he just went and did it. Great stuff. Through turn 9. Captain Schmeg, I'm sure he would like that position back. Perhaps his mistake has resulted in a slight increase in tyre wear. Maybe his tyres feel a bit shot at the moment. Around turn 9, turn 13 I should say. Steadily losing a little bit of ground to the cars in front. Hang out for another lap. You can see a dry line forming as well. Progressively getting drier and drier out there. Down the hill through turn 2. Lakeshow closing in. I believe we have Snake and Beans into the pits. We do. So he's the first driver who blinks. Lob gets by Guitar Hero as well. Guitar Hero right on the back of the McLaren heading down the rest of the Costa. Not close enough to attack though. So Lob will hang on to P10. Still closing in, little by little. Oh, and yellow flags, that's Psycho. Spun out to turn 4. Gets going again. Oh, running wide there, Schumacher trying to avoid the McLaren. Now, Snake and Beans, what have you gone on to? That's a set of medium compound tyres. Yep. See how ginger he is coming out of the pits. Being very, very gentle. Coming through turn 4. Yeah, look at the understeer. No, it's not time for slick tyres, not time at all. Snake and Beans going with a gamble. Gamble hasn't paid off. Oxford Fox getting overtaken. He spins at turn 1. Laquito going down the inside. There might have been contact between the two, which aided in Oxford spinning out there. Couldn't quite tell from that camera angle. He has dropped all the way down to P12. He's got a fair bit of work to get back up to where he once was. Guitar Hero getting by Lob. He's about to be overtaken by Nahil. No, he hangs on to P10. Oh, but runs wide, goes very deep at turn 6. I see he's missing a front wing. or at least part of it. So he's going to be a bit of a sitting duck with that damage. You can see an end plate missing on that McLaren. He'll have no downforce whatsoever. Oh, Lob, he's trying to fight. Oh, there's contact. This is messy. Oh, that's very messy and so unnecessary. Oh, you can see him running off the racetrack there. He comes back on in front of JST. JST. Probably the best thing the Red Bull driver can do is just stay behind Lob. He's definitely going into the pits. Yeah, you want to overtake the long way round. Lob ducks in. JBH on the back of Godly Boss, who is defending that inside line, making sure he can hang on to P2. That is Snake and Beans, I believe. He's getting out of the way. Yeah, he's on slick tyres, so very much a sitting duck at the moment. JBH working away here. He's right on the back of the Aston Martin through turn 9, using all of that inside curb. Godly Boss getting better traction out of the corner. See JBH just hitting those apexes. Really important in wet weather conditions that you stay on that racing line. Don't want to understeer wide. You can lose quite a bit of time if you do. Bit squirrely on the exit of turn 13. And as a result, he lost a little bit of time to Godly Boss. He shouldn't be too unfazed by it though. These fellas, they begin lap 17 of 36 here at Interlagos. We're closing in on that halfway mark. We've got plenty of racing to unfold. The Snake and Beans re-enters the pits with a 5-second time penalty and retires from the session. JST also making a move on Oxford Fox. He's into P11. Schmeg closing in just a little bit. He was outside of a second to JBH. Now 7/10 behind. Rafa out in front though, pulling away. He's got a 3.5 second margin over Godly Boss. It's been steadily increasing. Really good job from the Brazilian. At the moment he is flying on his home circuit. Doing a great job. Through turn 12. Yellow flags out. That's because of Snake and Beans' car. The AI driving out onto the circuit as Captain Schmeg has got to run. Can't get it done though. I think JBH ran wide at turn 13. Had a compromised exit which opened the door for Captain Schmeg, but he couldn't walk through it. With the center S. There's 1 and 2. It's a nice run through turn 2. He's trying to look around the long way at turn 3. Exactly what JBH did a few laps ago to Captain Schmeg, but he couldn't get the drive through the corner. Through turn 4. Right on the back of JBH. Then through turn 5. You can see there the Red Bull pulling away on the exit. Through turn 6. Captain Schmeg very deep on the brakes. Potentially contact between the two. You can hear Captain Schmeg getting off the throttle there as JBH runs wide. Through turn 9, looking around the long way. Oh, can he get the drive? No, he can't. Can't put the power down. Around turn 11. Lake Show's on the back of this now. Same with Silent Banshee. Silent Banshee driving well out there from P17. He finds himself in P6. That's a great recovery. And he finds himself in front of both his championship rivals, the Hill Plus Ultra and Oxford Fox. Still out there on the intermediate tyres. We begin lap 19 of 36. Oh, as Lake Show looking. He's got his nose there. Can't get it done though. As Schumacher brings out yellow flag for turn 4. Down the Retro-Aposta. Towards the seat of Delago. No one close enough just yet to make any moves. But this battle is starting to intensify as Lake Show is looking left and right to try and make some sort of move on Captain Schmeg, who was looking left and right on JBH. Side by side between the two as Schumacher spins out and crashes out, and so does his teammate Lakeshow. Fortunately for Lakeshow, he's still in the race, but he's got a completely destroyed front wing. But luckily for him, safety car has been deployed. See there, Schumacher hitting the wall on the left-hand side, so he's out of the race. He's left the session as well. This is our second safety car, and Captain Schmeg has been given a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags, and he will serve that. Now the question is, do everybody pit for slick tyres? Rafa stays out. Surely you have to pit. Here they come. Godly Boss. Medium tyres. JBH. Oh, Laquito stays out. Interesting. Hard tyres, really? No, you shouldn't be on hards. Mediums can make it easily from here. No. That is the wrong tyre to be on, and Lakeshow's done the same thing. Godly Boss has been disqualified. What? For blocking the pit lane. So I'm guessing he spun at pit exit. He was trying to get it pointed back in the right direction, and he's been disqualified. So race over for Godly Boss. Season over. Definitely not the way you want to end it. Couple of drivers going onto the soft compound tyre. In these sort of conditions, where it's sort of in between intermediate and dry, you definitely want to be on the soft tyre. It gets up to temperature the quickest, and it's the grippiest tyre. But the hard tyre, you don't want to be on this thing. See here, even in low speed, there's so much understeer, there's so little front end grip in these conditions on this tyre. Oh, and Captain Schmeg is off the circuit completely. Now that wasn't him resetting, that was the game doing that, I reckon. Because that's what the game does. If you go far enough into the infield, it will just teleport you. You saw he was completely out of control. Silent Banshee jumps up, a whole heap of people pitting in now. So all those who stayed out that extra lap have come in for slick tyres, as Captain Schmeg gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pit lane. So everyone hopping onto softs and mediums. The JST on soft tyres here. The Tyre Hero getting overtaken by Nihil. Both of these two are on the mediums. Laquito's on the softs. Rafa's on the mediums. JBH is on the soft tyre. And our new leader, Silent Banshee, starting from 17th on the grid, is on the soft tyre. Now, you'll have to do a fair bit of running on this tyre to get them to the end, but I reckon you are able to do it. I can't remember with Pacific Tier 1, but the Ferraris in that race did an alternate strategy going from mediums to softs. They pitted at lap 23 or so, I want to say. And they were going to the end on the soft tyres. So I reckon it's doable to go from here to the end on the softs. They might be a bit dead at the end of the race, but I reckon it's possible. Medium tyres, though, are definitely a safe bet. Yeah, sure. I reckon too. I reckon the soft should work. I guess only time will tell. There we are. 4 retirements. We're down to 14 cars. We got a massive mix in terms of who's on what tyre. We've still got Lakeshow on the hards. He's not going to like those hard tyres at all. Like, he'll have no problem with tyre wear. I can say that with confidence. What he will have a problem, though, is grip and lack of pace. Because those hard tyres have no pace. And those soft tyres, they're going to switch on almost immediately. They're going to be pretty rapid for some time. Yeah, fair enough. Could do about 15, 16 laps, and then they started to drop off here. Yeah, hard tyres, no. So, is a big no. So good luck, Lake Show. Best of luck. You're going to have to drive the wheels off that thing in order to get any pace out of those hard tyres. Silent Banshee controlling the field as the safety car goes into the pits, goes back into its natural habitat. And we'll get this race back underway. You can see here Banshee being very, very, very patient with his restart here. The field is bunching up. Look at this, it's a car park. And Silent Banshee finally restarts. There's a bit of shuffling going on in the midfield, but we begin lap 23 of 36. Here in Interlagos, and JBH is right on the back of the Mercedes. Through Curva de Sol, a bit of shenanigans going on in the midfield. The Silent Banshee is overtaken by JBH. And side-by-side stuff down the Retro-Repulsor into Descida de Lago. Silent Banshee tries to hang around the outside. He can't hang on though. JBH into the lead. Rafa's on the back of this too. He's closing in on the Mercedes. Up the hill through turn 6. Can't really pass through here though. Has to stay behind the Mercedes through the middle sector. Speaking of middle, this midfield pack, we're changing positions quite a bit. What's going on back here? It's Flavius. He's off the circuit. He's on the infield. Get to see the interesting grass texture that Codemaster used. JST has been overtaken by Captain Schmeg. They're side by side through turn 12. Down through, oh, and around the outside, Captain Schmeg. That was very, very ballsy, very committed. He's into P7. For some reason, Lob is ghosting. Where's he ghosting? I think that was Lob anyway. Or was that Psycho? Oh, I see. It's Psycho who's a lap down who was ghosting. Right, that makes more sense. I was wondering why he was ghosting there. Oh, dearie me, Guitar Hero almost lost it there. He looked very sideways at the exit of turn 1. He's kept it on the black stuff. He's still running. Down the Retro-Repulsor. Fairly tight battle here in the midfield as Lob overtakes Lake Show. And those hard tyres not doing him any favours. Oh, and he hits the back of the McLaren too. Oh, Captain Schmeg goes a bit deep. Still hits the apex though. Does a nice job. Through turn 10, then into turn 11. 2 10 separating Captain Schmeg and Guitar Hero. Through turn 12. Closes in onto the back of the Aston Martin. Through turn 13. Very tight stuff through the left-hander. Then up the hill, Purple Snake is overtaken JST for P8. Captain Schmeg, he wants to overtake Guitar Hero for P6. They're side by side through the final corner. Down the pit straight towards the center S. They're still side by side. Guitar Hero has the inside line, but Captain Schmeg doesn't care. Swoops around the outside. He's into P6. A very nice move indeed. Through turn 3, Captain Schmeg's next target is the Hill Plus Ultra. Only 410 separating the two. DRS is now enabled as well for the first time in this entire session. Through turn 5, oh, he's looking left and right. The Hill defends the inside line. Captain Schmeg has to look around the long way, and he does it again. He did it at turn 1, he's done it at turn 6. He's into P5. Next car on his list is Laquito in P4, but he's 3.8 seconds up the road. Tight battle here brewing between the Hill, Guitar Hero and Purple Snake. All of them closing in on one another up towards turn 13. Flavius overtaking Oxford Fox as well. Purple Snake overtaking Guitar Hero. Done that at the exit of 13. Down the pitch straight. This pack of 5 cars as Purple Snake looks down the inside into the center S. The Hill gives him room through turn 2. The Hill has the inside line, so he hangs on. There's the lap car of Psycho ghosting through Guitar Hero, providing a distraction. Down the Retro Aposta towards the Cedar del Lago. Purple Snake has to look around the long way here at turn 4. Can't quite keep it there though. The Hill hangs on to P6. There's Psycho. Like I said, being a little bit of a distraction as Lake Show drops behind Flavius. Hard tyres not doing him any good at all. Yellow flags for whatever reason. I guess that was JC, I think, bringing out yellow flags. Purple Snake still looking left and right to try and get by, and he finally does it down the inside at turn 12. Through turn 13. Purple Snake tries to drive out of the corner. JC brings out yellow flags in the middle sector. The Hill will get DRS, but it's a fairly big margin already between the Haas and the Alpine. But the Hill will close in. Well, actually, no, he won't. I forgot about the lap car. So, the lap car of Psycho is giving Purple Snake DRS. Yep, there it is. I'll be quite irritating for the Hill. The lap car playing a big part in this battle, it seems. The JC has retired in the pit lane. Laquito, a 3-second time penalty as well for multiple warnings. Around turn 8. Down through turn 9. The Hill doing all he can on the mediums to keep up. Lob gets a 3-second time penalty as well, multiple warnings. Lake Show, he's coming out of the pits on soft tyres, and that is Psycho, I think, making a mistake at turn 12. He went onto the infield, so he lost control of the car. He's now a fair ways behind. Teammate Lob, he's a fair way behind Guitar Hero. Almost 10 seconds separating the two. Now, the Hill, can he close in at all on Purple Snake? Through the center S as JC has left the session, fair enough, I suppose. Rafa is closing in on Banshee as well. So we might see a battle begin between those two. Down the Retro Aposta, the Hill has no DRS. This will mean Guitar Hero gets that little bit bigger than the Alpine's wing mirrors. Through turn 5, Guitar Hero closes in just a little bit. Half a second separating the two. Rafa, 6/10 behind, loses a little bit of ground in the middle sector. You expect that, as Banshee is on the soft compound tyre, Rafa is on the mediums. Around the penultimate corner, then around the final corner, 8/10 separating the two, as Rafa closes in. There's Laquito in 4th place. Through the center S, there's JBH. Here's Banshee and Rafa. Laquito just behind him, 4th. Next car in that order is Captain Schmeg. He hasn't really closed in on Laquito. So the AlphaTauri holding his own in 4th place, doing a good job. As Lob goes into the pit lane to get off those medium tyres. He might have wing damage as well. Oh wait, sorry, no, that was Psycho going into the pits. My apologies, he's going onto the soft tyre. I thought I saw the pit graphic come up on Lob's car, but obviously I misread it. Down the hill through turn 12, there's JBH. Gap is 2 seconds between the top two. Rafa doing all he can to try and hang on to the back of this and keep this fight alive. The rest of the gaps in the field fairly well spread out now. Very few battles going on. Got another one for P7 we'll look at. Guitar Hero on the back of the Hill plus Ultra. The Hill hanging on for now. Guitar Hero closing in. Not by enough though. Coming out to the center S through Curva de Sol. 3.5, 10 separating to make that 4. Uses his overtake, uses his DRS. Pulls out of the slipstream, looks to the inside, doesn't go. Oh, but the hill leaves the door open. Oh, that's a massive mistake there from the hill. He could have shut that door. Oh, thankfully he hangs on to P7. But dearie me, he left that door wide open there. Guitar Hero had every right to try and take that position. Initially, he was in no position to try and move into P7. The hill, being a bit too cautious, just left the inside line completely undefended. Rafa closing in. Into the center S. We begin lap 31 of 36. We've got 6 laps to go. Through turn 2, then into the long left-hand sweeper of Curva de Sol. Down the Reta Aposta. Rafa will open his DRS and close in. Down towards Descida do Lago. Is he close enough? The answer is no. He stays behind Silent Banshee. Through turn 5. Climbing up the hill towards turn 6 and 7. Not quite close enough to make any sort of moves. Guitar Hero, he's too far back to try and make any moves on the hill. Heading into Descida do Lago. He needs to do a bit of hard work to claw onto the back of the hill to try and make some sort of move happen. Silent Banshee, in the meantime, has closed in on JBH. The gap was, last time I checked, 2 seconds. It's now 1.5. And Rafa, he's still on the back of this too. So this fight for the win is quite over. So JBH is certainly holding all the cards. He's got track position. Also no penalties. 2 cars behind have 3 seconds each. But all it takes is one mistake and then suddenly JBH, he's on level ground with Silent Banshee and Rafa. Through Descida do Lago. That was very close to a warning there for Banshee. I don't think he got one. I reckon he kept at least 2 wheels over the white line, but it was very close. Through turn 9. The gap's still hovering at about 1.5, 1.6 seconds. Up the hill, around turn 11. Guitar Hero still working away at Nihil Plus Ultra, and Nihil is holding his ground. Now JBH, he's opened up a little bit of a margin now, 1.7 or so. Starting to close in once again. Rafa, he's closing in. And Banshee. Down the pit straight towards the center S. Not close enough again. But if Rafa can get a run through turn 3, he might be able to make a move, but he's made a bit of a mess of the center S. He lost maybe a tenth and a half through the chicane. He can't attack Silent Banshee just yet. Meanwhile, half a second separating these two. Guitar Hero will close them with the power of DRS down towards Descida do Lago. Again, not close enough to attack. Needs to stay right behind the hill, stay right on his gearbox. So he head up the hill around turn 6 and then turn 7. Basically what he needs to do is nail the middle sector, not make any mistakes. And maybe he can create an opportunity for himself. Around the final corner come the leaders. Rafa closing in towards the center as we go, 4/10. He needs to get this chicane right. Maybe a bit wide at the exit of 2. Just a little bit of time. Got DRS, he closes in. He doesn't have any battery to play with. He's got about 4% next to his name when he entered the braking zone of turn 4. He's using it here, look, at the exit of turn 4, so he doesn't have a lot in his back pocket at this stage. And there's not a lot of time left in the race to try and gather up some battery. When they cross the line, it'll be 2 laps to go. So, opportunities are running out for Rafa. Banshee, though, closing in 1.3 seconds. JBH still hanging on out in front. Around the final corner, he will begin lap 34 of 36 here in Brazil. 2 laps to go. Through turn 1. Through turn 2. The gap is 1.3 seconds. Onto the Retta Aposta. The gap holds firm. Turns 4 and 5, Descida de Largo. Banshee still hanging on to that 1.3 second gap. He needs to find 2 or so tenths here. Try and bring this battle alive. Needs to be a magical middle sector here from the Mercedes driver. Gap at 1.2, he needs to dig deep. Try and find those extra couple of tenths. JBH, he needs to stay firm and not make any mistakes. The gap increased a little bit there. So JBH doing a great job through that middle sector, holding off Banshee. The gap 1.2, it's not enough. Banshee won't get DRS here down the main straight. We begin the final lap here at Interlagos, and it's very tight towards the front. 1.1 seconds separates the top 2, and a hell of a lot less between P2 and 3. 4 tenths separating those two. Can Rafa do anything? Down the Retta Aposta towards Descida de Largo. He closes in, but not by enough. He stays behind Banshee in P3. The Hill Plus Ultra and Guitar Hero battling there, changing places. Guitar Hero within 4 tenths of the hill. Can he take that P7 away? At least on track. Oh, he looks. Can't go for the move though. Rafa, he's done all he could on the medium tyre, it just wasn't enough. He's stuck in 3rd. Banshee has done all he could. A superb effort from 17th on the grid to come home in P2. But our race winner today, for the first time I believe this season, JBH will win the Brazilian Grand Prix. Rafa, oh dear, he jumps up to 2nd. How does that happen? Did he overtake Banshee at the line? Give me a minute. It's either he overtook him at the line, or that's a timing glitch. I suppose we'll find out. Laquito will finish in 4th place. Purple Snake will finish in P5. Captain Schmeg P6. The Hill Plus Ultra finishes in 7th. Guitar Hero in 8th. Flavius will be the next car in P9. Here we are. Oxford Fox will be next. P10. Then Love. Lake Show will ultimately get that position. There we are. Nice race here at Interlagos. Silent Banshee, obviously given driver of the day for his comeback effort from the back of the field. Well done, JBH. Taking victory here at Interlagos at the final round of the championship. Rafa, home in 2nd place, will check the final times on the final results screen. But regardless of where he finished, it will be a very nice podium for himself. Claiming a podium finish at his home circuit. Let's see here. JBH winning by 4.4 seconds. He's beaten Silent Banshee by almost 2 tenths at the end there. Not sure about that. Suppose we'll find out after the race. See who actually finished where. Liquito in 4th. He'll be happy with that from 11th on the grid. Then Purple Snake from 13th on the grid to 5th. He'd be very happy with that. Captain Schmeg P6. The Hill in 7th. Guitar Hero in 8th. Flavius in 9th. Oxford Fox rounds out the top 10 with fastest lap. Lake Show in 11th. Lob in 12th. Psycho in 13th. The rest of the drivers, well, they retired out of the race. Oh, he ran out of fuel, I see. Well, thank you for that bit of information, Rafa. Didn't get to see that. So there we are. The end of what has been a very nice race here at Interlagos. It always is quite nice here at the circuit. Always had something going on at some stage during this race. Made it a pleasure to watch. Now I'll double check with JBH. Because I'm pretty sure this is his first victory, and it is. This will be podium number 3 for JBH. Claimed his first at the Hungaroring, his second in the previous round at Imola with a second place finish. This will be his first win, and only win for this season in the America Series, at the very least. And this will confirm Silent Banshee as the runner-up champion to Passassin. So Silent Banshee will finish P2 in the standings, and I'm pretty certain the Hill will hang on to 3rd, Oxford Fox in 4th. And there we are. A nice race here at Interlagos, it always is. Wet weather conditions provided an extra variable for us to look out for, and an extra variable for the drivers to put up with. But at the end we had a nice close finish, an intense qualifying session, and some good racing in between. Typical Interlagos behaviour. But I think everybody, with the race finally over, it's time for us to end the stream. Tune in throughout the week as there's still plenty of racing to come here on Raceback Esports, but for the American Series, time for us to end. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Lane Everingham, and until next time, whenever that may be, it's goodbye.